Al, it's October. Did you know it's October?
Oh, I do know it's
Despite the fact that you
October.
you refuse to think it's October.
I'll change my calendars once we finish recording. I gotta acknowledge the truth.
This also means it's the scary month.
Spooky.
So, we got to have some stuff about that.
Hmm.
And I guess you could kind of fit this into that theme.
Yeah, this is like spooky ominous-ish.
You get weird tongue monsters.
Yep, sure do.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc, Al, and Lady
Hello.
This is episode number 458, and we are going to discuss.
Discuss.
That's not a word. Discuss.
That is.
That's a word. The new iteration of the Spoke Kishibe Rohan live-action series, the Confessional film.
You know, it's the true horror.
AI soundtracks.
AI soundtracks. Oh no.
Yeah, so we should probably get that out of the way first off. Where the composer basically got on Twitter and bragged about how he just used AI to compose the entirety of the soundtrack, and was like, "Yeah, it's great. Just type it in words and it just spit out stuff to me." And I was like, "Wow, this is great."
Oh, it shows.
And then you listen to it in this film, and you're like, "Wow, this is literally awful.
Literally awful.
This is just terrible."
It's been so good in the previous ones. So, like, it was really a bummer that it's so bad, but it is very, like, distractingly bad.
Distractingly bad is definitely the way to describe it. Like, it is not good in the slightest.
We both made the comparison to the composer for the director's cut of Resident Evil and specifically the basement. But like the vocals sound like really off a lot. At one point it just sounds like a dude's just like slamming his butt on the piano repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is this supposed to be? What were we going for here?
The fact that like this was signed off on and it was put in this film is embarrassing to say the least.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It is yikes.
And yeah, especially when, you have the person in charge of this series, Araki, saying like, yeah, the only people who are using AI and like just to make stuff like that are scammers and con artists. So,
But is he wrong?
no, he's not wrong, but it's just like how would I can't believe they did this. And also like parts of this film deal with the idea of like being proud of like the works you make.
Yeah.
Of like actually doing the work.
Yeah.
And then you have this in this. And it's like, what are we doing? It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. It's just I don't know how anybody listened to it and they're like, yeah, this is good. This is fine. This is what we want.
and wasn't just like, hey, what the hell's wrong with you? What the are you doing, my dude?
Like we were.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, some of the vocals are just like not even remotely near what pitch they should be in, and so it just sounds like warbling.
And also like a lot of like this like the instrumentals, it's just notes being played.
Yeah.
Without any like cohesion or like any attempt at all to like make something that sounds good or has like, a theme throughout it, or even just like any coherency at all throughout it. It's just like this would be what the AI would be spitting out at you.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Yeah, this is great."
It's great, beautiful. This is how we do horror soundtracks now. barf.
Bleh. Bleh.
Bleh.
See, at least that would have been better. My music would have been better that I just made because I did it myself. I didn't ask a computer to. I didn't type it into a computer like, "Hey, mouth noises," and then it spit out that. I
Hey,
made it.
hey, mouth noises.
I made it.
You did. You're already a better composer.
I already did more work.
Yep, basically. So that was irritating and a big, bad, dark mark because like these live actions are really, really good.
Yeah.
So having that thrown in there was a bit of a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Wah.
Bleh.
Don't like it. Get that out of here.
Get it out of here. Get it out of everything.
Please, God.
Get the
please.
out of here.
When are people gonna realize like this does not do good stuff at all? Like nothing that it's giving to you
When they
is
eventually
good.
or when they eventually aren't making money off of it.
When the bubble pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no joke.
Blech.
Ugh.
We having fun yet?
Italy.
Italy!
Venice.
Venice!
Yeah, Rohan's here. He's in Italy.
Yeah, he got there early.
He did get there early, so he could go walk around and look at like weird masks and just explore
With his big coat.
with his big coat.
I like that big coat.
Big coat, man. Yeah, so this is adapting the At a Confessional story, which has already been adapted in the anime OVAs. So it was, I think, obviously, we were kind of both probably like curious, like, okay, how are you going to stretch this out into a full,
film?
almost 2-hour film? Which they do. There's a lot of stuff that they expand upon as well. Of like the dude's daughter gets like a whole new story involved in this that's not brought up in the OVA or the original one shot as well. So that basically fills out like the back half of the film is like all this like newer stuff essentially. Also we got to play how does Albert know this actor twice in this film?
The answer is always Yakuza.
Yes.
I got one of them.
You did get one of them, yes.
I mean, I got both that they were in Yakuza, but I got one of them specifically who he was.
So the main dude in this, which I guess they name him Mizuo or Tamiya. I think in the original he's not named. So there's
But
that.
it'd be weird to not have a name on this.
Yeah. The original version of the dude who gets cursed eventually is played by Shunsuke Daito, who is Baba in Yakuza 5.
Baba.
But he's got hair now, so
Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize him.
yeah. But then eventually, like, you saw like his facial expressions, and you're like, "Oh, right."
Yeah, he made this one particular facial expression. I was like, oh, yeah, that's him. I
There
see
it
it now.
is.
I see it now.
And then the other version of him, when he gets plastic surgery and changes into a different person, is played by Arata Ira, who was what was his name? Tachibana in Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
The real estate man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Tattoo.
big Yakuza influences in this. I think both of them did a good job in this. The original version of this dude obviously had to do a lot of wild facial expressions and over the top acting in a way that was just like all over the place. But it worked really well in terms of like, the scenes that it was in and everything, and like the situations he was in.
Yeah, he did a really good job with the popcorn scene specifically.
Yes. Like that really just felt just like it was super duper over the top in a way, like, it makes sense given the series and everything, but like he was able to pull it off in a way that it didn't feel like just ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous in a way.
Right.
And then the older version of himself is much more like kind of like calculating and just like super stressed out and just paranoid. So yeah, both actors I think did a really good job of like embracing this role and bringing out the different iterations of it in a way.
I agree with you.
Wow, thanks. I love to be agreed with.
I mean, I legitimately do agree with
I
you.
know, I'm just messing with you.
I'm trying to be nice.
He.
Wee. Let me be nice to you.
No.
Yes.
Ah.
We're always this weird, guys. Just in case you're wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He he he.
But yeah, the first half of this film is basically the At a Confessional story. You
Hmm.
know, Rohan's just roaming around Italy. The premise though for why he's there is that like him and Kyoka are gonna go meet up with some dudes from an Italian university as like a cultural exchange type deal,
Hmm.
and that's revealed a little bit later on in the film.
Hmm.
So that's the premise of why he's here in this instance, and then eventually he finds himself in a church, just like hanging out, just like just taking in
Wow.
the scenery,
Look
looking
at
at
this church.
yeah. I mean, like if there's like, look, we're not the religious people here, but like especially in this film, you can see like just like the way they built churches in Europe and everything. Like they put
It's
a lot of
different.
of
They're
work into them.
literally
They're kind of works
literally
of
built
art.
different. Literally built different.
Yeah, like they go crazy with like the architecture and just like let's go paint on the ceiling and stuff and all that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Um, so yeah, like he's just in there taking in the view and just like looking at everything, and then eventually he just like walks into a confessional booth just to be like, all right, what's this deal? How does this work and everything? And then a dude just walks in and is like, I would like to confess, Father, and he's like,
I do like that there are multiple moments in this where they're like, you know Japanese. Okay, let's switch to Japanese
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's wild how he met just
The people who know
the
Japanese
people who know Japanese.
in Venice
Yeah.
just conveniently meets the people who speak Japanese. I just think it's funny that there are multiple times he's like, Japanese? Okay, Japanese, Japanese, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to have these actors like trying to speak Italian the whole time because they don't speak Italian naturally. So,
Yeah, there's a part in the beginning of the film where Rohan speaks Italian to some dudes,
mhm.
and it definitely looked like they had to go back and redub it
Yeah.
because it looked like the syncing was off with the way with his mouth and everything. So understandable that they would not just be like, "Hey, you should go speak Italian this entire film."
Right. Like, I wouldn't be able to speak Italian if somebody's like, all right, go do this thing in Italian. Like,
Yeah.
no, I can't do that. So, like, it's understandable. But it is just funny how they're like, a Japanese. And then you have that Kyoko moment where she like pulls her glove off and reads off
Yeah.
the Italian.
Which honestly, I'm just surprised it didn't like smear.
No, same, honestly.
So yeah, this goes through the whole part of the confession stuff where the dude's like, I was working and I ran into this vagrant and he wanted food and I made him work for it and then he died and now he's cursing
Dad.
me. And then everything in my life turned around and I got all this happiness. But he said if I got to the peak of happiness, he would give me despair. So I kept having to not be all the way happy. But then I had a daughter and I got happy. And then he came back as a tongue monster out of her mouth. Which that was a wild thing that they did there.
Yep.
The tongue man.
The tongue man.
And then he had to do the popcorn thing where he had to throw it up above the light post and catch it 3 times in his mouth. And he got it 2 times and then he failed on the 3rd time.
Saw the birds, man.
Mm-hmm. And then he tried to run away and got his guts cut out by just a construction man walking by.
Yep.
And then he died.
He died. But then you find out that's not the original guy.
It was a twist. Yeah, he had a butler and he hired the butler and he was like, hey, you want this job? It pays really well. Also, we're going to get plastic surgery and switch faces, essentially.
Yep.
So it worked there, but then as soon as the guy died, he found the dude and the curse was now 2 people on him.
Well, yo. And now it's a curse of like his daughter's happiness.
Yes. And then after like the dude confesses all this, Rohan uses Heaven's Door on the fella and it's like, reads through his stuff and everything, gets some like weird red goo on his fingers. It's just, very conveniently decides not to go away for a while.
Yeah. What could that be?
But yeah, this dude's been like telling his daughter to like not get happy. Here, do all these things that will bring you bad luck. And he also does it as well because he doesn't want anything bad to happen to his daughter. And then basically from here we kind of we go into the kind of like original stuff in this film and everything. Kyoka heads to the place where they're supposed to meet up, and she meets the head of this university that's going to eventually be where this kind of rundown place is, Lorenzo Grimani. He's very excited. He wants to meet Rohan, and he's like, where's Sensei Rohan? And she's like, oh! She has to call him up and be like, hey, where are you? Come on. Get over here. He's like, all right. But Rohan's also getting into some weird things. A lady just gives him a bunch of flowers, and then he gives them to a thief who then throws whatever he had in his arms into the river. And he runs into this lady who is named Maria, who he met earlier as he found a mask and brought it back to her shop and everything. And he helps her back to her apartment. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, this house is supposed to be haunted and everything. Like, everyone's died in it, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Also, I'm getting married tomorrow. Isn't that crazy?
Yay!
And then Kyoka calls him again, and she's like, oh, by the way, the dude's inviting us to his wedding tomorrow. Isn't that wild? He just wants you to come. And he's like, hang on a second.
Hang on a minute.
He's like, you know this dude Lorenzo? And she's like, yeah, that's my fiance. And he's like, huh. Interesting.
Well then.
And then he uses Heaven's Door on Maria, learns about, or basically puts two and two together that she is the daughter of the dude who confessed. And the confessor wants to basically stop the wedding because he doesn't want her to be happy or reach peak happiness, essentially. Trying to save her and himself. The dad busts into her apartment and is like, you gotta call off the wedding. Look, I found proof that he's having an affair. And he's like got these photos of Lorenzo hugging Kyoka after they had basically, she had called Rohan and said he would come to the wedding and he was so happy. And she's just like, I'm not gonna believe this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is silly. What are you doing?
And then he just takes her dress and flees.
Yep.
And Rohan's like, I should probably go after him. And then he's like, you were the father. You know about the curse. And then he just tries to jump off the roof and is fine.
Yep.
Except the dress is just now hung up on the lamppost, and he's like, oh, I'm okay. So
I can't die until this whole thing is figured out.
Yeah, Rohan realizes that. Eventually, the two of them or Maria and Rohan walk around, and then they find Lorenzo and Kyoka coming to them via boat. It's very funny. It's the dichotomy between these groups of characters where Maria and Rohan are kind of more subdued and just
stoic and serious.
Yeah, and then the other two are just super extroverts and just yeah, hello, we're here.
It's really good.
It's very good. Rohan and Kyoka go to a cafe and eat, and then they get a nice platter that they didn't order, and the waitress is like, oh, it was a misorder, you can have it. And Rohan's like, oh, the red substance is still on my fingers, weird. A man argues with his lover on the phone, and then just eventually gets mad and hangs up, and he gives tickets to Rohan and Kyoka, and they're to the opera. They go see Rigoletto.
Which I'm sure is not plot relevant at all.
No, this story about a cursed man and his daughter. What? How surprising. I thought it was interesting that they're doing this kind of opera thing, and it's basically in a house.
Yeah.
It's like a garage set for a band or something, but it's an opera, and I was like, that's it. I'm sure that's probably a thing, but it was just it was such not what I was expecting when it's oh, we're going to the opera.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like an opera.
Yeah, like a big, grand hall type deal. It's like, nah, this is just a room. And then like they go and sit down there, and Kyoka's like, yeah. Rohan's like, do you know what this story's about? And Kyoka's like, nope. She's also worried because she doesn't speak Italian, so she's like, how am I gonna understand it? Oh no. And then Rohan just leaves right before the opera starts. She's like, hey, where you going? Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Rohan just walks out and eventually runs into the dad, who's hiring two dudes to assassinate Lorenzo.
Yep. Just getting a hitman.
Which Rohan circumvents them and uses Heaven's Door on them to write some instructions into them. And then he just no-clips back into the room to watch the end of the opera with Kyoka. And he jump scares her. Especially because like he comes back in, he's like lounging on the chair very weirdly. It's like, what are you doing, my dude?
Well, the funny thing is it jump scared her, but it also jump scared me.
Classic. So we get to the next day, and they're gonna move the wedding up a day because they realize the dad's trying to sabotage the wedding. So they're like, let's go get married today. And they're like, all right. But one of the men was tailing them and tells the dad that they're moving the wedding up. Dad's like, you gotta stop this wedding. Rohan confronts the dad, who's just decides, you know about this curse and everything and all that, so let me show you the extent of this curse. I'm going to pull this gun out and put it to my head, and oops, click, click. You might be thinking I'm playing Russian roulette, but nope, it's a loaded gun. They're just misfiring.
Yep.
And he's like, he puts it on, he aims it at Rohan. He's like, I'm gonna shoot you. Let's see if your luck's good. And then there's like, he steps forward and there's like a lottery ticket at his feet, and he's like, oh, that's a lot. Well, I bet it's a winning lottery ticket. And Rohan's like, yep, I bet it is. He just starts stomping it. He's like, oh, I don't need luck.
Trying to get into the ground.
He goes on this whole spiel about like, he doesn't need luck if like he works hard for his manga and everything, and if he was relying on luck, his readers would know about it, he would know about it, it would come through in his work, and he would hate it. So he doesn't need all this luck. He's gonna work hard for his successes and everything. Mm-hmm. And then he also is like, oh, by the way, we switched out the venue for the wedding and everything, and also I put a bulletproof vest on the dude.
Haha, I win.
Rohan heads to the church. Kyoka's already there, just hanging out. And then the dad's there. Dad shows up and he's like, stop the wedding. But then the other assassin's there, and he runs up and shoots. But Maria throws herself in front of Lorenzo and takes the bullet.
Oh no! Kyoka freaks out.
She's got a stain on her dress. And she's dead.
She's dead.
And the dad is now just in a deep state of despair as the cursed spirits come back and are like, nah, ha, ha, we found it. This is the true height of despair. Ha, ha, ha. And then he just like gets up and is like, walks out. He's like, I'm free.
His face comes like clown face. Like sad clown face specifically.
Yeah, so all of them leave, and then everyone's just kind of like, and then Kyoka, Maria sits up and is like, all right, let's finish this ceremony, guys. Which everyone was in on it except for Kyoka, and she's like, what is happening?
Why didn't you tell me? It's like, we needed your reaction to be authentic.
Yeah, we needed someone here to think that was actually real.
I love that even the priest is like, oh, that's the first time I've ever done that. That was wild.
You like, there's a time where like after she gets set up, he like wipes his brow and he's like, whoa. And Kyoka's like, so the dude who shot was in on it as like an actor as well, right? And Rohan like thinks back and he's like, because first he's like, I will not follow assassination orders, and then he scratches that out and puts, I will always use blanks, and he's like,
yep.
Yeah.
He was in on it for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And they get married and everything's all hunky dory.
Yay!
Rohan and Maria have a little chat about, like, she talks about why she creates masks. So she's works at that mask shop. She creates masks now. She's like, this is something only I can do. It's like I can make this myself, essentially. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If only
Wink,
someone
wink,
on
nudge,
the production team of this film could have got that hint.
Wow.
They
Between
eventually,
her and Rohan being
Yeah.
like, my art is important to me.
Yep. Oofa doofa.
Yeah.
The newlyweds go to leave, and they're like, "Hey, Kyoka, Maria wants you to have the bouquet." And she's like, "Yeah!"
She's so jazzed.
And then we see them leave as they're heading down the steps, and we see the back of like Lorenzo's vest,
Yep.
waistcoat, or whatever. And there's a giant Rohan signature on the back, and he is so jazzed about it.
He's so excited.
He's like, yeah! Let's go!
So funny.
And then the two of them just look out over the canal and just chat about the trip and everything. Rohan Kyoka, that is.
Yep.
And she tries to offer him a nice thing she got, and he's like, "That's fake. Why would I want that?" She's like, "Well, I've gotten so much good luck here, so And he basically tells her, "I think it would be very hard for someone to curse you." And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "No, I'm not. It's a compliment. Don't worry." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
All right.
And then the best part is, like, he asks her how much Italian she knows, because the whole time when she's with Lorenzo, they are communicating in each other's languages, and somehow they're able to understand each other, despite the fact that she's speaking Japanese and he's speaking Italian.
Yeah.
And
He does speak Japanese too, though.
A little bit, yeah. Like, I think when she, like, shows up. But, like, for the most part, he's speaking in Italian to her.
Right.
So he asked her how much Italian she knows. She's like, "Yeah, I don't know any." And he's like, stun locked as they walk away.
Oh, man. Those two are so funny together.
It's very good.
It's very good.
So yeah, like, again, I feel like the movie itself was another fun entry into the series.
Yes, I agree.
God, the AI soundtrack is terrible. It is
so bad.
such a bummer.
Yep. Horrible.
Hate that.
Yeah, because the rest of it's great.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack's just distractingly bad.
So bad.
Also, just worth mentioning that, like, this was a pain for us to actually watch because they didn't upload it in time on Amazon Prime because they're rude.
Mm-hmm.
So, bleh. Jerks.
So yeah, that is the latest live action Rohan piece of media.
Is there even anything else for them to adapt at this point, or are they done?
I'm sure there's still at least some things that they could adapt. Because we know they've basically taken from the like short stories as well. So
Oh, true.
and also they've just also pulled from the the Part 4 anime. So
Right, Diamonds Unbreakable.
so they could just basically do kind of whatever. There is no tease in this for
A continuation.
a continuation. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if they'll make anything else from this. I mean, obviously, if they do, that'll probably be next year.
Yeah.
So
I hope so, because I really do like these live action adaptations.
hopefully, people shamed the composer enough that he won't do AI in the next thing if they make more, or they'll just be like, "Hey, get the out of here."
Just fire him.
Yeah.
People should be shamed for doing bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that is this.
That is that, this, that.
And that's going to do it for us this week.
Yep.
So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or etsy.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok, Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky, seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love Life Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buys a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early. Our monthly exclusive Patreon podcast. We have a new episode of that up. We watched Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. That's a good film.
It is. So you can listen to us talk about that film and all of the things that has inspired over the past 25 years.
And what we think.
And what we think about it and all that. You can also listen to all the other episodes of that podcast on the Patreon as well, and a whole bunch of other bonus fun content. Next week, we'll talk about something else.
Yeah, I have no idea yet.
Nope.